To kick this one off, I'm grabbing my Stynylrez primer, starting with black, working all the way up to white. But I'm not going to be doing a top-down zenithal highlight. What I'll be doing instead is just focusing on areas where the lightning effect is going to be, or an internal light is causing some glowing. Jumping over to the color, I'm going to start off with some bold pyro red. I love this color, it's beautiful. This is going to go on all the areas where I've got that white. This is my highlight color, that bright visual pop. And I'll follow that up with some burnt red. This is going to be used for the shadows, and it'll play off that bold, bright red really nicely, giving me that dark shadow look, making it look like this is at night. Now that I'm done with that airbrushing step, I'm going to go ahead and saran wrap this model up, and we're going to go work on the sword. This is just a mix between Pro Acryl Bold Titanium White and Satin Black. It's going to give me some nice smooth grays, a good blend, and just a nice overall look. But don't get too attached to this version of the sword, because later on I decided this green just wasn't working with the red. Moving back over to the body and grabbing my brush, I decided to grab my Bold Titanium White. This is going to go on the head, it's going to go on the shield, and I'm going to use it for some of the markings on his armor, and for all those internal glowy bits. After that, I'm coming back in with Satin Black. This is going to be all the metal parts, the legs, the arms. This will give me a nice solid base layer to work up from to create some actual interest. After that, it's time to grab some Dollar Rowney ink. This is cyan, and it's a beautiful color. Plays super well with the Bold Titanium White, and mixing those two together can give me that really nice internal glow. Back at it for day number 2. Let's see if we can get this project wrapped up. I'm jumping right back into that Dollar Rowney cyan. Again, going back to those glowing bits, trying to create a little bit of visual interest. Then, in order to break up all that red on the model, I'm going to bring in this copper color. Plays off it really nice, and just adds a little bit of interest splattered all over the model. And here's what I'm doing for my black workup. I start with that satin black, and mix in Pro Acryl's Bold Titanium White, working through my gray steps all the way till a nice bright white. Once that palette gets a little bit too messy, there's only one thing to do. Grab that premium quality parchment paper and just get yourself a little clean working space. For all my armor highlights, what I'm going to do is lay in that Bold Titanium White. Then I'll come back over top of it with that Bold Pyro Red. This is going to give me a nice bright red highlight without pushing it to pink or to orange. For the base, I'm going to come in with some dark umber. This is going over the black primer that was already down. And again, we're always thinking about the light, so I'm trying not to get this too bright. On the areas that I do want bright, I'm going to come in with bone. I'm going to wet blend this in, just keep working it, get a nice smooth transition. There's nothing real special about these rocks, just mixing in some white and some black, getting a nice gray, and then creating a little bit of interest in the texture and the pattern. At this point, I decided I wasn't really selling the night effect too well, so I'm going to mask off some of these areas where I want light illuminating from, and then come back in with a mix of Army Painter green tone and dark tone. The green tone is going to play off the red and mute that down, while the dark tone just acts to bring the vibrancy down across the entire model. Jumping back over to the sword, I'm going to do the same things. That Bold Titanium White, Satin Black mixed together, get some nice fades. But this time, I'm going to bring in that cyan ink. After my masking is off, I'm going to go ahead and come back in with that dark tone green tone mix and fade that in so it's not really a stark difference. Moving back up to the sword, I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting. I'm going to work on that internal glow from the front, as well as a nice edge highlight to really sell that metallic sheen look. The next step is to build up a little bit of glow. This glow is going to be coming from those lightning bolts that are coming down. I already know roughly where I want them to be. This step is all about just selling the effect that those lightning bolts are actually close to the model and doing some illumination on it. I'm not going to lie, this effect was pretty much pulled one for one from El Miniaturista. If I could do this half as well as he did, maybe even a quarter as well, I'd consider it a success. This part's pretty straightforward. Just grab that wire, get some nice sharp hard bends into it. I chose copper because in research it seemed like that's what retains shape best. Just go ahead and get him glued on, in place, and then we're ready for paint. One thing I might change about this step is I might use a primer again instead of that white. I'm not sure about longevity on this, if the wire flexes at all, if it's going to cause problems with that white bonding to it. For the internal glow on his backpack, I went over and grabbed some white oil. This is going to get mixed down and it's going to flow into the recesses really well and just give a nice pop. I'm going to do this, I'm going to airbrush blue over top, and then I'll hit it again with some more. For the final touch on the base, I'm going to go ahead and grab a black pigment powder. I'm going to put this on pretty liberally, but I'm going to avoid any of those areas where the lightning is illuminating. And I'm also going to get this up onto the model. That's going to kind of marry the model and the base together and make it feel like it belongs there. The last thing to do is put some varnish on it. This is going to be a gaming piece. It's definitely going to need some protection. I am a little bit clumsy. And that's it, guys, all wrapped up, ready to get on the table and fight for that greater good. Thanks for sticking around. Hope this has been enjoyable. Hope it's been helpful. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments. If you got any requests for color schemes, go ahead and let me know. I'm going to be painting each battle suit in this army a different color, so I am definitely open to suggestions. Now go grab your paints, go have some fun, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.